let's talk about the difference between an AI system and AI agent. If you go to the YouTube, the 95% of the videos that you will watch from different people are actually reviewing, building, trying to sell different AI agents. I don't think that there is anything wrong with this approach, but I feel like this is not the most optimal way for you to build a long term business. If you follow, and you probably is, the actual space, different automations, tools, softwares, and updates that big companies are getting released every week, you'll understand that the actual space is getting democratized. It means that building these agents becomes easier and easier. I'm not sure if any of you remember, but ChatGPT, so OpenAI, presentation on sales SDR, they haven't released, but they were pitching in on the Asian markets, I think, the actual their SDR that within one click of a button can find ideal prospects for your business, try to create the personalized messages and engage with them. If you go to the platforms like N8N or Make, they are adding their AI functionality. And I'm not really talking about the actual, AI modules or agents. I'm talking about AI assistants that within a year would be able to create a very cool and useful workflows with just a few, simple prompts. So where is the value? And as always, maybe there was a hype, obviously, for a few years, and the hype still is within the AI, and AI is here to stay. This is the most revolutionizing technology that we saw probably in years, at least within my timeline for sure. I'm not that old. So I think it all comes down to the results. It's pretty easy. So yeah, sure, we got our portion of the hype when people and businesses are actually looking for standalone solutions, and they want to implement certain things because it's cool, because it's useful, because they feel a need of it. And I think it's still gonna be continuing to be that way for at least a few years, for sure. It's not gonna be the immediate cut. It doesn't happen that way. But I feel like when we talk about long term, the actual, my vision at least, is to merge the ordinary, services that, simple agencies, regular agencies provide, marketing agencies, SEO agencies, staffing agencies, and merge them with the AI and build the actual systems. Now, you can build these systems in two different ways. You can make them, very productized, right? Productized, or you can make them custom. So the custom systems are easier to sell because they are actually fixing a very, very specific problem for a larger market, means that you are open to customizing this thing. And the productized systems are easier to scale, but harder to market because they are actually built within a certain framework. So if we take, as an example, any of these agents, and by the way, we have the one prompt, which is a sales system in a box that you can license and white label and resell. But the point that I'm making, with this idea is not to sell you the one prompt. It's just to make you think in a systematic way, whatever you can call it. So you can build all of these agents separately. You can build an appointment setter agent, you can build a follow-up agent, you can build a renewal agent that will, help insurance agencies to renew their contracts, or any, larger corps that work with either smaller corps that work with customers on the retainer with the monthly subscriptions, usually not SaaS or the ecom, because they have their, all they have their own follow-up like sequences and email campaigns. Usually these are like older school businesses um, that are actually offering products and services on the retainer, or the actual bigger corps that deal with bigger contracts that that are getting renewed every year, every quarter. So you can build these things separately, and each of these agents can actually fix a very specific problem. But the problem that you will face is on the delivery, management, and presentation side. Because, like, let's say the appointment setter agent, because this is like the most kind of straightforward one for you to understand. Like, if we check right now, appointment setter AI, you'll see that people are selling appointment setters that can book appointments in your calendar and do everything for you, and it does work. But how is the actual management and deliveries happening? Sure, like, okay, let's picture that you'll go to VAPI or retail, you'd build the agent here. So now, okay, technically you already start facing the problems, because how are you going to deploy to the business? You need to buy a phone number for them, or they need to buy a Vantage, Twilio, or any supported providers. So it's harder to connect to their existing phone number. Okay, so now you're like already kind of switching their system. Okay, you're disrupting the workflow. But okay, now, so let's say you got the Twilio number, you attach the assistant to this number, you put it on their website, and now people can call this number. So what? Like, okay, what happens then? Like, when there's like people interested, it will book them in the calendar. Okay, awesome, good. And if the people are not interested, it will not do that. So first is, how are you managing the actual interface? Like, how are you delivering, how you you see how many calls has been done, how many successful, you can view the recordings. It's both like for you and for the business. Now, again, depending on the business that you're working with, maybe they don't need it. They just care about the results. They don't want to see the backend, but you need to see it, because you're trying to improve, right? So you are trying to make it better every week, every month. So, okay, and you can say, yeah, sure. So we have within the VAPI, we have the interface, right, where we can, manage the calls and see the actual analytics. We can also use something like Chatdash, okay, to do that. And by the way, you can do the same thing within the one prompt. You can, use the high-level dashboards and build it up. But okay, so like you can use different things. Like you can use the dashboard. Okay, so go to Chatdash or Tixai agents, right? And they are connected to the retail and VAPI, and so good. Okay, so you will see the dashboard. Good. Conversations. Okay, so conversations you can also sync. Good. So now you're kind of already having the dashboard. It's not just an agent. You're having the dashboard. Okay, so now, good. What happens then? Are you gonna like follow up with the people that you booked an appointment with? How are you gonna like make sure that they will show up? Either it's like digital events, if it's the physical event, are you like going to do the reminders? So like follow up agent, like are you gonna do that? Or you're just gonna, book the calls and that's it? Yeah, sure. Again, it's gonna work. Like, I mean, and you can sell it for sure. But more value we deliver, more we can charge, and longer we can stay in the business. And I'm not like trying to show you the system that you will like sell for, billions of dollars just because it sounds cool, like system and not agents. No, I don't care. Okay, what I care about is the value and the result that they receive. So, yeah, I mean, technically, you would want to follow up with these people. Okay, good. So now, how about like nurturing all the prospects? Nurturing is kind of in the appointment center, because You would need to qualify, like nurturing qualifications. Okay, like technically you would build everything within, the prompt, where you would explain, hey, like first, ask this type of the questions. If it's too complex of the workflow, you'd go to the retail and you would build an actual, workflow. Because yeah, sure, like Vapi has the workflows, it's not there yet. I don't really use them that much. We use retail workflows still. uh, okay, so if it's a complex workflow, you will be able to use the workflows to build, something like that. Okay, the logic. Okay, awesome. Still, like, the follow-up is not fixed, because you need to have a separate set of automations for that. And you can say, okay, Eugene, but like, sure, we will set up the make or n8n automation that will do that. Okay, how are you gonna track it? Where's the pipeline? Like, you need the pipeline. You need something like that. Guys, please understand. If you know me, if you watched any of my YouTube videos, on any of the channels, you understand that I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to, sell you something, sell you the one prompt. I'm just showing it to you as an example. You need the pipeline, okay? You want to track. You need the dashboard, okay? So because the thing is that this, dashboard softwares, they have the dashboard, but they don't have a pipeline because they're not the CRM. Okay, maybe they will add it. Good. So now you can like manage it, but like, where are you gonna do the follow-ups? Okay, awesome. So you somehow fix the follow-ups. You somehow fix the lead qualification through the workflow. Appointment setter. And you will connect it to Google Calendar, okay, for the reschedules and updates. But now, how about creating a unified memory experience when people can also message and you can message the people after the call? Now, of course, Vapi recently added their SMS functions where you can SMS people after the call. Now, when they message you back, it's not going to be processed that way. So you would still want, and we're talking about the same business. We're not talking about like building this for bigger businesses with a bigger potential. No. What I'm talking about is like the same, like it could be like the same business that you can build the appointment setter for. These things like do matter. These things do matter. And of course, they might not like receive the SMS. Sure. I mean, this is then not the case. But if it's the second call, or if you need the outbound call, so now you need the both inbound and outbound, and you need like manage everything in the dashboard and the pipeline, and it can work, but you need to have a system already. This is the system. Like, nothing fancy. Like, this is the system. And what I'm saying is that no, you will not be able to charge more. Like, I mean, it doesn't work that way. It's like you're not gonna pitch appointment setter for like 3K. And then if you're like building a system, this is what, some YouTubers sometimes like, you're gonna pitch it for 10K. No. Okay, maybe still, maybe in the next year, some business for like dummy guys, dummy business owners, but no, okay? You're gonna pitch it for 3K, and if it's valid, you need to do the system. Because you don't probably care that much about the upfront value. You care about the recurring revenue. Or at least, if you're not doing the MRR, if you're like my agency is, which is like Quimple, we have like both right now. One problem that we're like reselling it to the people that want to sell, or for the businesses that want to implement. Sure, this is like a separate thing. With Quimple, we're still like customized solution agency. So our model is designed around the one-time payments. Yeah, sure, but we still care about how long people stay with us and how many more projects we do for each and every client. And in order to do that, we need to show the result. And not only that, we want to give them the flexibility of changing different things and adding new features. That's why you need to have an interface to manage everything. Sure, you're going to use, high level, as we were doing. You can use Airtable. Now, with Airtable, it's a bit, or like Airtable interfaces, it's a bit trickier. Like the same thing with Lovable, sure, you can use Lovable. And we have, by the way, a few people, our members, that built the interfaces on Lovable. They're actually coders, to be completely fair. They are like just build the wireframe and then recoded them, but they are like offering the database reactivation services through the callers for a very specific market. And yeah, so they build their own interface where they can manage everything. So you need some sort of, something tangible where everything will, come together. And ideally you want to have it, to give it access to, text channels, because sure, voice is one thing, but you need text could be SMS, it could be the email, it could be, the live chat. So you need to have that option. And you also need to have an access to like different automations and triggers. Again, so high level has it. You can use everything, like you can use make.com or n8n for that. It's just going to be, a bit more on the thinking side to make sure like everything is connected together and works properly. So there are different options. I'm just saying that you really want to build something like that. You want to build something like, this, by the way, a recent video that I was recording for the main channel where I was going over the case study of the sales system that we sold to one of our clients. The prospect fills out the Facebook form, goes to the high level. Then we're doing the research and the analysis of the prospect details that he provided on the Facebook form. Then we're doing the engagement, and then the conversational sales engine is engaging with the prospect, further trying to qualify him. This is basically a lead qualification, lead nurturing, and engagement agent together. But they are built within a system because we have the pipeline, we have the dashboard, we have the management, we have multiple workflows. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.